This sequence is for shoulders, neck, and jaw. There's going to be a lot covered, so if you can't do this whole sequence all together, it doesn't have to be done all together. Okay, back over there. We're going to start with a pranayama called 3-part breath with a mudra. And the mudra is 3 parts, so you have your elbows bent, your palms facing down, and you'll start with your hands right at the low waist. Back the other way. And then you'll move up towards the middle of your chest. And then the last one is elbows bent up towards the sky, and the hands will be placed at that space towards the middle of the shoulder blades. So we'll just start with just these two, the first 2 mudras. So as you take a breath in, you'll stay. And as you exhale, you'll push the breath out and move your hands up. On the inhale, bring your hands down. Exhale, move the hands up. And keep moving with your own pattern. Breathe in and out through your nose, both sides of the nose. You might feel like you're going backwards with the hands and the breath, but really we're following the breath in and out. So as you come down with the hands, the breath fills the belly and the pelvis. And as you exhale, the breath releases and the lungs deflate. Let's just take one more. As you complete your exhale, let the hands come behind you. That 3rd mudra with the elbows up, hands towards the shoulder blades. Squeeze your elbows in towards your ears and try to get as much length in your spine as possible. Take 5 rounds of breath here and bring your breath into the space of your hands. We're bringing attention to all 3 parts of the breath, the lower abdomen, the diaphragm with the lungs, and the chest up here, and the back of the heart. And as you complete that 5th round, you'll let the hands come down by the sides. And assuming that you haven't done the joint freeing exercises yet, if you have, you can skip this part. We'll do a couple of rounds of neck joint freeing. So you'll look over the left shoulder and slowly move through center, look over the right. One more time towards each side. You'll come back to the center line with your head and drop your left ear towards your left shoulder. Roll your chin down to center and bring your right ear to right shoulder. Come back down to center, left ear to left shoulder. One more time towards each side. And come back towards the right shoulder. If it feels okay on your neck, roll up towards the sky very slowly and come all the way back around. Just a couple of times like this, looking up towards the sky, moving really slowly. Drop your chin to your chest and then bring your eyes all the way up to the sky. Follow with your head. Open your mouth and let your tongue stick out. Come back to center line. Hands will come to your heart. Take an inhale and bring your arms out wide. Bring your heart up to the sky. And as you exhale, you'll round your spine and bring your hands together in front of you with the arms lengthened out. So on your inhale, reach arms wide. Exhale, round your spine, hands touch in front. Let's do 3 more rounds. Big wide arms, reach up with your heart. Round, touch the palms. Bring your hands back to the heart after that 3rd round. And bring your left hand down to the floor and sweep your right arm up to the sky. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lean over towards your left. Reach with your right arm over your ear. Connect your right sit bone down into the floor. I'm sitting on a blanket. You can also use a towel or something underneath your seat. Good. From here, we'll come into a twist. So bring your right hand to your left knee. Left hand comes behind you, slowly come into a full twist. Lengthen the spine and maybe look over the left shoulder. Good. On your next inhale, breath in, you'll come through center. Exhale, place the right hand down. Inhale, big breath in with left arm to the sky. Exhale, leaning over to the right. Feel that space in between the rib cage and the hip bone on the left side. Really plug that left sit bone down into the ground. Slowly make your way into that twist. Left hand to your right knee, right hand behind you. Lengthen up through your spine. Let your head and your gaze come over your right shoulder. And come back to center. Bring the hands to the tops of your knees. We'll take a couple rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, reach the heart up to the sky. Exhale, round. Bring your gaze towards your belly button. Just keep moving with your breath. Drop the shoulders down the back as you reach forward with the chest. Really bring that C shape to the spine as you round back. Rocking back and forth over the sit bones, so you're rocking forward on the inhale, rocking back on the exhale. Good. Complete one last round. Back up to center and make your way onto your back. So you will need a blanket or a towel for this next one. You'll just roll your blanket or fold your blanket a couple of times so it makes a small square shape. And from your back, you'll roll over onto your right side and place that blanket in between the knees. let your right arm be outstretched in front of you, about shoulder height. And then let your shoulders stack and place your left hand on top of your right. Just remember, we need one more piece of prop here. I'm going to be using a yoga block, but you can also use another rolled up towel or blanket for your head. So the blanket's in between the legs, the knees are bent. Your right arm is out in front, that block or that towel is underneath the side of the right side of your head. Left hand on top of your right hand, and bring your breath in. Left arm comes all the way up to the sky. Follow it with your eyes and bring it all the way back behind you, maybe or maybe not touching the floor. As you exhale, bring your left hand back to your right hand. Keep squeezing that blanket or towel underneath your knees, in between your knees rather. Move slowly here. Enjoy the twist. So come over onto your left side. Head is underneath that block or blanket. Left arm stretched out long. Place the towel or blanket in between the knees. Right arm on top of the left. Take an inhale, lengthen right arm up to the sky. Follow with your eyes. And as you exhale, draw it back towards your left hand. We're opening up the chest, coming into a twist in the mid back and the low back. So allow that blanket to stay in place in between the legs. Just going as far as feels good. 3 to 5 rounds on each side. And we'll complete. Begin to come all the way over onto your back. You don't need any props for this one. You'll have your knees bent and let your knees come in to touch each other with your feet wide, wider than your hips. Bring your arms beside you with your elbows bent like a cactus. And we'll do a couple rounds of those cactus arms, rotating in the shoulder joint, bringing the hands down towards the floor first on an inhale. And as you exhale, bring the backs of the hands towards the floor. And keep moving slowly with your breath, 3 to 5 rounds. And keep the shoulder blades on the earth. So if you find that your shoulders are lifting up, place them back down and maybe back out in each direction if you find them popping up. And when you complete your last round, bring your hands back down, the backs of the hands back down into the floor, cactus arms. Okay, so from your cactus arms, keep your elbows bent, and then bring your opposite hand to opposite elbow, right in front of your chest. And then from here, we're going to bring the right elbow down to the right side. So your left elbow is crossing over. Keep your left shoulder down into the floor. Come up through center on the inhale. Exhale, right or to the left elbow down towards the floor. Keep your right shoulder plugged into the floor. Good. A couple more times on each side, coming slowly through center. Taking a deep inhale as you float through, reach over, let that right arm try to lengthen out. Back over. Last time, left elbow crosses to the left. And then come back up to center. Keep the hands exactly how they are. And begin to bring your forearms towards a spot above your head. And maybe it just feels good to rest the arms on the forehead. Or you can start to bring the forearms all the way back down towards the floor. And just rest here for 3 to 5 breaths. Come back to that 3-part breath with the inhale coming all the way down into pelvis, low abdomen, up through ribs, chest, that space between the shoulder blades. You'll bring your forearms slowly back up towards the sky. Switch the cross of the forearm. So the opposite forearm comes on top, which will be the left one for me. And bring the arm slowly back down. Open up the chest, the armpits. To 5 breaths. And bring the forearms back up towards the sky. Reach your arms out long. And exhale, place the hands down by the sides. And we'll move quickly into the next sequence. So the inhale brings arms up overhead as they're outstretched. Reach through your fingers. Exhale, draw hands back down by the sides. Key here is to keep the shoulders even with one another. Both shoulder blades connecting down onto the floor. And shoulders away from the ears. Notice if you're locking out in the elbows and just bring some relaxation into the fingers, elbows, hands. Focusing on the shoulders. Take one more complete round. Letting the exhale fully complete as the hands come back down by the sides. And whichever way is more comfortable for you, you'll come back up towards your seat, maybe sitting on something like a blanket or a towel. Bring your hands back in front of your heart. And on an inhale, you'll start to bring the hands up in front of your face, up towards the sky, and bring your elbows together. And then we're going to sweep the forearms up over the head, widen your elbows, and sweep the arms back behind you. Hands come back to the heart. Bring the hands up to the sky, draw the elbows together, and then sweep out wide. Reach the arms long behind. Good. 3 more rounds. Big breath in, sweeping up to the sky. You can also do this when standing, allowing more room for the arms. Or if it just doesn't feel right to be sitting down while doing this, it's always okay to stand. Or in a chair. And when you've completed that third round, bring your hands back to your heart. Open the arms out wide, let the palms face down, and just gentle circles in the shoulders forwards with both arms. And then circles backwards. Come forwards again and make wider circles. Come backwards again and make even wider circles. Good, and then come back to center. Turn the palms to face up. And as you exhale, twist towards your left and draw your elbows in towards your rib cage. Inhale through your center. Exhale to the right. Bring your elbows into your rib cage. Good. Come back to center. Palms are still facing up. Bend your elbows so your fingertips rest on the tips of your shoulders. And we'll twist to the left and twist to the right. And you can move slowly if you like here, keeping the elbows about shoulder height, shoulders away from the ears. Or you can come into more quick motions, especially if you're doing this in the morning. It feels really good to wake up with the spine twist a little bit quicker. Short, quick bursts of breath in and out of the nose. Good, and then you'll come back to center. Release the arms. Take a breath. And come on to hands and knees. So find your tabletop position. Bring your right hand to the back of your neck, right at the base of the head. And we'll press into that left hand and reach your right elbow up to the sky. And then as you exhale, bend through your left elbow. Bring your right elbow to your left wrist. So in your inhale, you're opening up. Exhale, dropping it. Inhale, open up. Exhale, drop it. Gonna take this last round. You'll bring right arm all the way up to the sky this time. And then you'll slowly begin to reach your right arm underneath your left. Come down onto your shoulder. So you'll look like this. And come onto the right side of your head. If you feel like there's a lot of pain or pressure there, lift your head back up and try to place it back down. Maybe even resting more on the back of the head, or even the head can be on a blanket. Let your left hand be support, maybe pressing into the hand to lift slightly up off of the neck and head. And you'll slowly make your way back up to tabletop position. Take a cat-cow. And then we'll move to the other side. So you'll bring your left hand, elbow bent to the back of your head. Inhale to reach up to the sky. Exhale, bring elbow to wrist. 3 more rounds. that last one, you'll come back up to the sky, reach left arm all the way up. Exhale, come to that thread the needle, left arm underneath right. Then we'll come back up to tabletop position. And come over onto your seat once more. I'm going to be sitting back on my heels, but you can come to a chair or onto a blanket cross-leg position. And we'll do a variation of eagle arms. So you'll bring arms out wide and then cross your left arm in front, right arm over your left. Reach for the backs of your shoulders. And lift your elbows about to your shoulder height. From here, we'll bring both elbows over to the left and the gaze over the right shoulder. Through the center, elbows to the right, gaze over the left shoulder. Come back to center, reach your elbows up higher towards the sky, little arch in the back. And as you exhale, drop your elbows down towards your belly. And just a couple more rounds like this, reach the elbows up to the sky. And exhale, elbows towards your belly. And you'll come back up to center. I'll show you the progression of this particular pose with the arms. Is full on eagle arms. You'll have your elbows crossed here in the center, and you'll reach your hands up towards the sky and wrap the left hand towards your right palm. And then you'll bring the elbows back up and do that side to side twist. So that's the progression from this. Reach your arms back out wide. And we'll bring right arm underneath the left this time. Reach for the backs of the shoulders. Bring both elbows to the right. Look over your left shoulder. Both elbows to the left. Look over your right shoulder. Back to center, elbows up to the sky. Exhale, round the elbows in. 2 more rounds here. And if you want to come to that progression, you'll bring hands up. Right hand wraps to the left hand, reaching elbows up, eagle arms. So let's unwrap and bring arms out to the sides. Exhale, hands come back down. Take a couple of breaths here. Let the shoulders rest for just a moment. Then we'll begin to keep the hands down on the thighs, or if you're in cross-leg or a chair, just hands on your legs. Begin to lift your right ear towards your right shoulder. Let it drop down. Left ear to left shoulder. Let it drop down. Keep alternating like this. And then switch the pattern, so left shoulder first, and then the right. And then we'll move to both shoulders up and down. And then you'll rest. Just a couple of rounds. Feel into your neck, into the back of the shoulder blades. And then we'll find a block or a folded blanket or towel. And you'll bring that right in front of you, back to tabletop position. And bring your hands down on each side of the rolled up blanket. You can have your knees bent here on the floor. Press down into your palms, and as you exhale, draw your elbows towards your rib cage and touch your heart down towards that blanket or your block. We'll just do 3 rounds of these simple little push-ups. Now come back to that tabletop position. Come down onto your forearms. Squeeze that blanket in between the forearms. And then turn the palms to face up towards the sky. Progression here is to come to dolphin pose, which is like downward facing dog. And you can have your head resting on the blanket, and my knees are bent. Take a couple of rounds of breath here. And again, you can be in this position, just letting the backs of the hands press into the floor. Good, and then let the hands come back down. Remove that prop. Come all the way down onto the belly. Sphinx pose. So a couple of options here is you can be all the way flat down onto the floor. Your chest is coming through your upper arm bones. If you're feeling a lot of tension, pressure in the low back, you can take that blanket or towel, give it a nice roll. Place it just right at your low belly. Takes a little bit of the pressure out of the low back. And then you'll just reach your heart to your upper arm bones, press through the inner edges of your wrists. Let your chin drop slowly down towards your chest. Feel a nice stretch at the back of the head. Come back up through center. Look over your right shoulder, slowly moving the gaze. And then we'll come up directly through center over to the left. Come back to center. Let your elbows reach out wide. Let your forehead rest on your hands. Take a few breaths in rest here on your belly. If you have a blanket underneath you, begin to remove that. Come back down all the way onto the floor. And reach your right arm out all the way to the right. Begin to roll over onto your right side. Let your head rest down. And then maybe that left leg will bend. Place the foot onto the floor. Then when you're ready, you'll come back through center. You can linger there a little bit longer if you want. You'll turn towards the left side, roll over, maybe bending that right leg. Let the head rest down towards the floor. Then come back to center. Gently press up to tabletop position. And begin to find your way up to standing. So we'll just do a couple of poses in a standing position. Just to get back onto our feet. Bring your right arm way out to the right. Bend your elbow, reach behind you for your left upper arm bone. So your right forearm is crossing all the way across your back to your left arm. Let your feet be hip width apart. And let your right ear drop down towards your right shoulder. Back to center, release the right arm. Shake it out. Let the left arm come out wide. Bend the elbow, reach behind for the right upper arm bone. And reach left ear towards left shoulder. Back, hands to your heart. Cross your fingers and push your palms out in front of you. Reach your hands up to the sky. Feel that length through the shoulders. Reach your hands over to the right. And reach your hands over to the left. Reach your arms up to the sky and out wide, palms face up. We'll do this like we did when we were sitting down. So twist over to the left, draw your elbows in. Twist over to the right, draw the elbows in. Come back to center. Drop your arms down by your sides and behind your back, elbows bent, cross your fingers together. Bring your hands down towards the floor and your chest up to the sky. And then we'll bend in our knees and let yourself fold over the legs. Hands will drop forward. And if it feels good, you can lengthen through your left leg, bend in your right knee. And dip your right shoulder towards your right knee. Open your heart to the left. Come back through the center. Bend your left, lengthen your right. Look out towards the right side. Come back to center. Let the hands come to the low back and then release. Forward fold. Bring your knees to bend a lot, almost like you're sitting back into a chair. And bring your hands, fingers clasped behind your head. Elbows drop down towards the floor. Really important to keep the knees bent a lot. And then track the top of your head down towards the floor. Feel that traction on the back of your neck. Take however many breaths might feel good there, then you'll slowly release. Let your legs start to lengthen out. Walk your hands up towards your shins or thighs. Straighten your back out, lengthen through the crown of your head. And then sweep all the way up to the sky, maybe a little bend in the knees. Hands come up and hands to the heart. Good. Last standing round. I'm using Another little tool I have is a little dowel, little round piece of wood. I'm going to have my hands about shoulder width, and you can use maybe a belt and just have a belt in between your hands and bring your belt in front of you. Widen your feet a little bit more, and on your inhale, lift the dowel or the belt up above, bend your knees into a squat. Good. As you exhale, lengthen through your knees, the dowel comes back down. Up to 10 rounds here, so you can start with just 3, depending on how you're feeling. Moving really slow, so we're just trying to lift as much as our edge will go, and then slowly come back down. So doing up to 10, starting with 3, press your weight into your heels, and then come back down. Good. Let yourself release. Take a couple of breaths. We'll come back down onto the floor. Using a couple of props here. You can use a towel or a blanket, and let your blanket or towel be folded in a rectangular shape with the folds towards the top of your yoga mat. And then I also have a sock with 2 tennis balls in them. We'll just set those aside. Come over to your seat and just take a few minutes to rub into your jawline. Open and close the mouth. A gentle self-massage here. Maybe even at the top of the head. All of this tissue at the sides of the skull and at the top of the head, it's all connected to the jaw, so it's really good to bring some massage to the scalp if you're feeling like your jaw is tense. Come towards the back of the neck, a little bit of a massage there. And let the right hand massage into the left side of the neck, down the shoulder. Just letting yourself squeeze into the tissue there. And then bring the right hand, or the left hand to the left side. Massaging at the side of the neck and down the top of the right shoulder. Before we come down for our relaxation piece, let the hands rest down in the lap, and we'll end our movement piece with one last pranayama breath, which is called lion's breath. It clears out any blockages of like mucus or like a froggy throat, stretches the tongue and the jaw and the eyes, cheekbones. So you'll take a big breath in, and when you exhale, open your mouth wide, let your tongue come out, and bring the breath forcefully out of your mouth. The next step is to cross your eyes while you're exhaling, if you can do that. It feels pretty good, actually. So about 2 more times, you'll take an inhale, exhale, lion's breath, and one last time. So to come down for your relaxation, this little tennis ball sock will go right behind your neck, just at the base of your head. You'll come down onto that blanket with the tops of your shoulders touching that top folded part. So your whole mid-back is on the blanket, and your low back should slightly begin to come off of the blanket. So your sit bones and your glutes are on the floor. Let your head come back. Let that tennis ball be right underneath the neck. And you may feel that it gives you some massage, or maybe it's a little bit too far for that massage piece, but it feels nice to have just a little extra support underneath the neck. Option to keep the knees bent and let the knees come in towards one another, or let the feet come long. Let yourself rest for a few moments, at least 5 minutes after your yoga practice. And if you're finding that you do want to use that tennis ball for more of a massage purpose, you'll need to come off of that blanket so that the tennis balls actually put some pressure into the back of the neck. You'll push that tennis ball sock all the way up to where the base of the head meets the neck, and can just roll yourself onto that tennis ball and let it just massage and do its thing by just laying on it. And maybe you'll rock your head side to side over the tennis balls each side. Or maybe you'll find that it feels good to move the tennis balls down towards the shoulder blades, the tops of the shoulder blades. So it's not even really underneath my neck, it's right at the tops of the shoulders. It feels really nice. Also bring the tennis balls just in between the shoulder and the left jaw, and just let yourself massage out the jaw and the cheek and the shoulder. And once you've finished your relaxation piece, you'll come up to your seat. Bring your hands to your heart in a symbol of gratitude for paying attention to your body today. Namaste.